The Prime Minister on 7th June, after weeks of policy paralysis, announced a big U-turn in the country's vaccination procurement policy.
21 जून सोमवार से देश के हर राज्य में 18 वर्ष से ऊपर की उम्र के सभी नागरिकों के लिए भारत सरकार राज्यों को मुफ्त वैक्सीन मुहैया कराएगी।
Unfortunately, this U-turn comes only as the deadly second COVID surge is subsiding after many thousands of deaths. Health experts, the Supreme Court and lakhs struggling to get vaccinated questioned the centre's vaccination plans week after week and got no answers. The PM took great pains to blame the states for this delayed announcement.
कई राज्य सरकारों ने फिर कहा कि वैक्सीन का काम डिसेंट्रलाइज किया जाए और राज्यों पर छोड़ दिया जाए।
But the real reason for this late U-turn is simply this: there were just not enough vaccines to procure or distribute. ये जो India है ना, it is glad that we're now back on track, but let's accept that it's been a costly delay.
Our COVID ground reports cost us about 7.5 lakh every month. You can help our reporting from the ground. Go to thequint.com, click support the Quint tab, choose a plan and pay.
To understand this better, listen to these three headlines. First, Home Minister Amit Shah says we controlled COVID's second wave in a very short time. Second, in that very short time, between the 4th of April and 5th of June, India had over 1.8 lakh COVID deaths. Third, the centre is paying 1,500 crores in advance to vaccine company Biological E to book 30 crore doses of a new vaccine that they are developing. Now, more than half of India's COVID deaths took place in the last 2 months, but the Home Minister calls it a success story. Those desperate SOS messages for oxygen, the desperate searches for ambulances, the waiting outside hospitals for a bed with relatives gasping for life. Was that how the government controlled the second wave? Those pleas for oxygen from big hospitals across India, which could not be addressed. Those headlines we saw of lives lost each night as oxygen simply ran out in hospital after hospital. Was that evidence of a government in control or failing to control? It was ironic that the Home Minister chose to pat himself on the back at the inauguration of 9 oxygen plants in Gujarat. If we had seen these 9 oxygen plants and many more across India inaugurated 9 months ago, then today the government may have actually had something to congratulate itself about. Which brings me to the third headline I read out. The centre paying 1,500 crores to pre-book 30 crore doses of Corbevax, a vaccine being developed by pharma company Biological E. काश के हम टाइम को रोल बैक कर पाते और काश कि हमारी सरकार ने इसी तरह वैक्सीन की प्री बुकिंग 2020 में की होती. This headline is a quiet admission by the government of a costly mistake of doing almost nothing in all of 2020 to increase India's vaccine production capacity. The US government gave advances of $6 billion to multiple pharma companies last year itself, achieving 2 goals. One, they pre-booked hundreds of millions of vaccine doses, and 2, these billions of dollars allowed these pharma companies to start increasing their production capacity last year itself. And as is now well known, the Indian government did none of this last year. What we don't know is why. Take Covaxin, for instance, produced by Bharat Biotech. Out of the first 20 crore vaccine doses in India, 18 crore was Covishield. Only 2 crore doses were Covaxin. Why? Because Bharat Biotech does not have the production capacity. But this was known last year. So 12 months ago, why didn't the government do what the US did? Why wasn't Bharat Biotech given a big advance payment last year itself to massively increase their capacity? We don't know. In fact, the government finally gave Bharat Biotech an advance of 1,500 crores only in April 2021. And here's another big point. Between the central and state governments, India has 13 public sector pharma units which with some upgrades could produce crores of vaccines. But for a whole year, these PSUs have been allowed to largely sit idle. It is only now that the government has decided to use 3 of these PSUs to produce Covaxin. And get this, one of these PSUs is Quint Pharma based in Mumbai. Quint's managing director says they will supply 22 crore vaccines annually once their biosafety lab for the production of Covaxin is ready. But how long will this biosafety lab take? 8 months. Had the decision been taken 12 months ago, Quint would have been producing Covaxin 4 months ago. So again, we ask, why is this being done a year late? We don't know. And it's not just our questions that are going unanswered by the Government of India. Even the Supreme Court has struggled to get satisfactory answers from the government about crucial questions related to India's vaccine policy. Why dual pricing of vaccines? No clear answer. Doesn't dual pricing and unequal access to the vaccine go against Article 14 of the Constitution, against right to equality? Yes, the PM has dealt with this question finally, but as we have shown, it has come after many lives have been lost. Why is the government rigid on registration for vaccination via the CoWIN app? No clear answer. When there is a clear digital divide between rural and urban India, can we rely totally on a digital portal to ensure universal vaccination? No clear answer. The central government says all Indian adults will be vaccinated by December 2021. But beyond assurances, where is the government's specific plan to achieve this? Again, no clear answer. The central budget for 2021-22 earmarked 35,000 crore rupees for procuring vaccines. How has this money been spent so far? And why can't some of this pay for vaccinating Indians between the ages of 18 to 44 years? Again and again, no clear answer. And before any minister again says, "Lekin health is a state subject," let's understand that on 31st May, the Supreme Court settled that issue and said clearly, the management of the pandemic, controlling the spread of COVID-19, India's vaccination policy and vaccine pricing are the responsibility of the central government. So, dear central government, ye jo India hai na, it is getting exhausted from just asking questions. We now need answers.